Hi everyone, this is Kyle with K-Debate. I wanted to follow up on my last video where I said I was going to make a video about a conversation I had online on Facebook with a couple of people that became immediately very odd, very violent, where I was threatened with murder and lobotomy. So I brought it up on my computer. It's right over here. So if I look back and forth, that's why. I have my screen split in half right now. Where the camera app where it turns half your screen into the camera. That's what I'm doing. So it was one of those. There was the ban the Confederate flag because of the church shooting, and then there was a backlash after the two reporters or the journalists that got shot by that guy that used to work for them. And it was he was gay and he was black, so there was a backlash saying we should ban the gay flag now. So that's what popped up on my newsfeed. It's a picture of a rainbow flag with the caption "Gay black man kills two straight white reporters. Time to ban this flag," and it was shared by somebody that I used to have on Facebook. I have since talked to them about it, and then they told me that they didn't want to talk to me anymore, so I stopped talking to them. But it's he has a quote. My friend posted, or my old friend posted this. Didn't folks on the left and right scream for the Confederate flag to be banned after a senseless slaughter by a white devil? Is turnabout fair play? So he's agreeing with the post that the rainbow flag should be taken down from somewhere, though I don't understand where, because I guess he means it shouldn't be allowed to be shown anywhere. Like the White House, when gay marriage was legalized, it had the rainbow lights. So I guess he's talking about that, though it's the Confederate flag is still allowed to be flown. It's just not allowed to be flown or on certain government buildings. So that's where it was banned from. So there was no real explanation for where he wanted it to be banned from. I think he was just agreeing with something that he didn't explain it, so I didn't know. And I asked about it, and he never said. So I responded to this because there was a whole bunch of. I went to the place that it originated. The image was ClashDaily.com. So I went there. I went to the original article. I read the article, and then I read the comment section. And the comment section was so angry. First of all, it was just calling it the fag flag. And I apologize. There will be swearing in this because I'm going to be reading what they say. I do apologize for that. This is not the kind of language I like to employ. But when I'm quoting somebody, I do like to be clear, and I don't want to detract from what they're saying by abbreviating or by just using other words. So I want to be as clear as possible. They were calling it the fag flag. They were calling them terrorists. They were saying we should euthanize all of them, put them in camps, euthanize them. There was a lot of that. It was not a few posts. It was a lot of posts, and it was almost all of them. So I was trying to, when I was reading that, it was very difficult to read, but I was trying to get, I wasn't just reading the top comment. I was reading as many of them as I could just to get the bearing on where this conversation was. There was no discussion. There was, we should kill them, or we should, not kill them. And there was yelling at each other, but there was no discussion whatsoever. And I was trying to add a little bit of discussion to it, and I was immediately attacked. So here's what I did. On Facebook, because I couldn't comment on, I don't remember if I could, on the article itself, I don't remember if I could or not, but I posted this on the Facebook page that was linking to that. And I posted, it's fairly long. I'm reading the comments on the website, and the hate is surprising. It is not exactly unexpected, but the directness of it is something I am surprised by. I'm trying to be as level-headed and fair in my assessment. There are dozens of the phrase fag flag, several calling for the death of all homosexuals, calling homosexuals mentally unstable or mentally deficient. That is not a discussion. People saying that AIDS is good because it kills gay people is troubling to hear. I know the article itself is anti-gay, and that most of the comments will be in agreement because of the viewers. The reason I said that was because the article itself was promoted to them. It was pushed for them. So the people that read it and the people that go to that website are most likely going to agree already. This is one-sided and troubling because of its extremeness. The outrage is not inherently wrong. 2 people were killed and the killer committed suicide, so there was no due process or clear reason given for the attack besides the note the messenger left behind. If you read the article, it does talk about how the person, after he killed the two people, he had a suicide note. He recorded the entire thing on a camera that he had on him. He had told several large news organizations that he was going to do it, or that he did do it. And then he sent the videos to people, and then he posted it online so everyone could see he was. And then he went on a police chase, and then he ended up killing himself after he was almost captured. So there was not a lot of. They couldn't talk to him afterwards. There was no discussion afterwards. He presented it the way he wanted to present it, and then died. So people couldn't get the full story. They only got his side, without context elaborated on. So what he posted was the only thing that was said. Now, see, the outrage is not inherently wrong. Okay, but this is more than that. The calling for a blanket response against everyone even remotely similar to the killer. The flag being taken down is a conversation we can have. The hate is something to talk about. The meaning of the attack is something to talk about. We should have a discussion about this. But I have to stop when people are calling to kill others or when people are glorifying AIDS or dehumanizing people. I've always been against all of that. This is not how discussion works. This is bigotry. When someone likes this article and gives agreement to it in the description, I have to respond. I have to add context and explanation to at least some of it. He didn't give any context of what he agreed with or why he agreed with it. He just said, is turnabout fair play. And also, there is an issue with the reasoning, and then I said the guy's name because it's obviously linked in the thing. Because I was responding to him pretty much. So when you post somebody's name, it pops up on their feed to know they've been mentioned, so he could read my response. The Confederate flag being taken down was in response to a racist attacking a black church because he was racist. Well, I believe the response to take down the Confederate flag was arbitrary and missed the point of what racism even is. It was related at least somewhat in where people believe racism comes from. So it was I believe it was kind of an arbitrary response, but it was still people trying to, like in my last video, you try to do the right thing, but you don't understand the problem, so you may not be fixing the problem or even making it worse sometimes. It was related at least somewhat to where people believe racism comes from. Historically, it comes from ignorance and fear. Dehumanizing people comes from ignorance, and because the South supported slavery, from that premise, it is generally associated with racism. So the South supported slavery. That's one of the things they wanted. So this is before the Civil War and somewhat afterwards. But they wanted slavery. The North fought not to have slavery. It was a complex issue. It was much more than just that. But so the Confederate flag, the flag that they used, is considered a symbol of the South because the South identified with it. So that became associated with it. Also, the guy had Confederate stuff on him. Let's see. The flag represented people who were associated with racism, and the flag itself was used to represent their ideals. That is why people attacked the flag. The rainbow flag does not represent... the rainbow flag does represent the gay community, its pride and identity, among other things. The main difference, however, is that the ideology of the gay community is not reflected by this attack. The rainbow flag is not something that calls for violence against anyone or that others are less than. That is the difference. So I was trying to give clarity to what these concepts represent. The Republican, not Republican. That's a funny slip up. The Confederate flag. I didn't mean to do that. The Confederate flag represented what the South represented, and they went to war under that flag. The rainbow flag does represent the gay community. It does represent their pride and all of the things that they stand for. But the things that they stand for are nonviolence. They stand for self-pride and things like that. It's an internal thing. It's not... I mean, they can present it externally because pride is something that you can show to other people, whether that's right or wrong, that's a discussion. But it doesn't call for violence. The flag itself has no association with violence. This attack is egregiously bad, and it doesn't inherently mean that somebody who is gay will support this. It does not but people who identify with the Confederate flag might agree to, the racism promotes or represents. So that's the difference. There is a difference that needs to be discussed. And that's what I was trying to do. I wasn't saying this is the only way you can interpret this. I'm saying this is an interpretation of why. And I already said that the attack on the Confederate flag was kind of dumb. It was arbitrary. So I'm not trying to say this is the reason. I'm just saying that this needs to be talked about more and understood more before we start doing random things again. Let's see. Calling for the rainbow flag to be removed from some... Oh, here it is. Calling for the rainbow flag to be removed from somewhere, not really sure exactly what they want it removed from, is to associate homosexuality with racism. To say homosexuals should be hated like racism should be hated. That is the message I'm getting from this article. Is that correct? ? I find that to be what this article is calling for, because the article was calling for action against these people. It's like, okay, this guy who happened to be gay killed these other two people, and that means we should blanket response attack these people the same way they attacked us, though that's... They also call that the attack on the Confederate flag was wrong because it doesn't represent what they say it represents. So it's something that needs to be discussed more in detail, because we're trying to say the Confederate flag being taken down was wrong. So because these people did something wrong, we should attack them the way they attacked us, because turnabout is fair play. That eye for an eye mentality of, we know what you did is wrong, so we're going to wrong you the same way you wronged us, is already wrong. It's already... They're saying, yeah, you're wrong, we're going to wrong you anyway. So that in itself is already something that needs to be understood. On top of that, there is also the issue that they don't necessarily represent what you're saying they're representing, just like the Confederate flag may not represent slavery to a lot of people. Some people it does. Apparently to the person that shot up the church, it did. So you have to discuss that. You have to understand, if it does promote racism, if it does promote the acts that happened, then it needs to be addressed. But if it doesn't, and it was just a coincidence, or it was just something that happened, then that needs to be understood as well. So that was my response. That big long thing was my comment. And then this person who I marked their name off, I'm not going to say their name. So-and-so says, I'm going to call him Red, because I covered his name in red. Take your analytical bullshit, Kyle, and stick up yourself where the sun don't shine, semicolon. Oh, wait, you probably like that. Just don't peddle that crap around here. We've had enough of this political correctness. The fags can get back into the closet where they belong. Stop flaunting it in our faces, or it's lobotomy time. And then I responded to that. You have responded to reason with threats of violence and lobotomy. You have also equated my defense against that same violence to being gay myself. This is not political correctness. This is a defense against violence when it is pushed on people who do not deserve it. You have tried silencing me with threats instead of discussion or reason. I find your tactics to be morally reprehensible. And then somebody else responded. I'll call them Green, because I covered their name in green. Kyle. However, the battle flag had no more to do with the killing at Charleston. The rainbow flag really had nothing to do with the murders of the reporters and cameraman. Yet you still believe the rebel flag should have been removed. I still fail to understand your logic. I didn't say that, so I don't know why I specifically said it was arbitrary, and we should probably talk about that. Then Purple. Purple said, I think no other flag should be flown on federal, state, local, or school properties except the American and state flag, which state you reside in. I agree with you, Kyle, already. So then I responded to Green, and then Purple. So I responded to Green. I did not say the Confederate flag should be removed. I said that was arbitrary and missed the point of the attack in the first place. And then to Purple. Thank you. I am curious what your stance is on this kind of article being made and the supporters trying to incite violence towards other groups. I would enjoy a conversation on the subject. Because I wanted to talk to the purple guy, or girl, I don't remember, about what they think about the article itself. Like, what do you believe, or what do you understand about it? Like, what can we talk about? So then Red responded again. Kyle in his Sunday best, and he showed a picture of a guy with a beard and kind of Lennon, like John Lennon glasses and a white hat, and a dress. So it's obviously a guy in a dress who looks mildly Islamic. And it just says gay terrorist underneath it, is a caption of the image. So it's a man in a dress that looks Islamic and just the caption gay terrorist. And it's like Kyle in his Sunday best. So he's just attacking me as a person. He's calling me a homosexual Islamic terrorist. Also insulting homosexuals and Islamic people because he's generalizing. He's saying, oh, you look like this, therefore you're wrong, which I really have problems with this. This is generalizing. This is dehumanizing. And it's directed towards me, which I can handle because it's absurd, but it's also dehumanizing them. Whoever this picture is, it might be a model. I don't know. It might be their job. Why are you calling him a gay terrorist? So anyway, back on this. I responded to Red. Not sure what you are basing that off of besides your own ignorance and bigotry. This is the kind of issue I'm talking about. You are attacking people you don't know because you hate them. The reason for the church attack, not the flag, not the history, the present bigotry that you are directly expressing right now. Are you aware you are giving weight to my argument? He is attacking someone he doesn't know. He is attacking somebody by being a bigot. Or because he's a bigot. So what he's doing is he's flat out agreeing or promoting the kind of violence that I am trying to defend against and who he is denying exists pretty much. He's just, it's political correctness. He's hiding behind the idea that because I'm being politically correct, he can say whatever he wants. And that's not true. You're not allowed to be a bigot because it's wrong. It hurts people. It's not equal anymore. You're saying they are less than. So that was what I was taking from this, is that whoever this Red guy is, and I don't remember his name, he's just attacking me as a person, and I'll get into that in a second. Blue responded, and Blue is a new person. This from someone that's barely old enough to shave. He was posting that to me, because in my profile picture, I'm younger, because it was probably about two or 3 years ago. So I was 23, 24. So he's attacking me as a person as well. He's saying because I'm young, I cannot have a discussion. I cannot have an idea, which is, again, it's attacking the person instead of the argument. So Red responds again. Kyle, your argument is null and void. You are way outnumbered here, and as you know, and then in parentheses, maybe you don't because your head is up some fag's ass, and parentheses, all the rest of people who can't stand the queer life can't be wrong about the issue. Cry all you want, but do it quietly in your so-called pea-brain. So he's calling me homosexual lover, and dumb, and because he is in the popular kind of discussion, like he's in the popular side, then therefore he is right because majority makes right, which is a fallacy, just like attacking somebody's as a person instead of their argument is also a fallacy. Okay, so then I'm responding to Blue and Red in this one. So I Blue, using someone's age as a reason to dismiss their argument instead of arguing against what they have to say is a fallacy. It is on par with name-calling. It means nothing and actually shows your immaturity, not theirs, which is true, because if you don't understand how to argue, then you're showing your ignorance and immaturity. It's like, oh, you're stupid. You're stupid. Dismissing someone because you disagree is also wrong. It is to say you are above them, that they are not worth your time. I have seen this in most of the responses on this comment string, which is me responding to all of the people. It's like, all of you have been doing this, and I don't understand why. Please, step up. If you want to show your superiority, be it morally or intellectually, give your reasoning, give your arguments. Don't spout dogma and dismissal without reason, because that shows ignorance and nothing more. Also, to you and Red, so it's Blue and Red, allow me to show you two things. So I linked to the Wikipedia page for argumentum ad populum, which is a fallacy, and I'm reading this, a fallacy that states that because something is popular or agreed on by others that it must be true. And then I linked to the Wikipedia page for ad hominem, which is the fallacy of attacking a person instead of the argument the person makes. So that's, you're stupid, you're fat, you're ugly, you're a communist, just stuff like that. It doesn't matter what they're saying, it matters that you can attack them and dehumanize them or depopularize them. It's a fallacy. It's not dealing with the issue, it's dealing with the person, and that's not fair. Anyone can say something and it be true. It doesn't matter who you are. So I am aware that this is a practice in futility. that even trying to give the smallest context or argument that is not directly in line with the narrative you support will be responded to with anger, hate, and potential violence. I am aware, though it is because of that idea that someone has to say something. Can you imagine how damaging your words are to someone who does not understand these concepts, that somehow your words must be true? And I'm responding to the younger people, to the people with low self-esteem, to the people that have emotional problems, the people that are being attacked, the people that are already shunned by society, sometimes, the people that in the context of this conversation would be threatened with violence for being gay or being different. Anyone being different. They're saying if you're Islamic, then you are automatically a terrorist. These people are equating homosexuality with terrorism, and because of the murder, which was horrible, and I'm not saying it's not, but they're equating the two together now. They're equating homosexuals with the same damaging effects that racism have, that terrorism has, that this kind of idea is okay to have, and it's not, because it's damaging. It hurts people. It kills people. So I am aware that some of the people here would be delighted for gay people to kill themselves, and then in parentheses, or the defenders of them, and parentheses. No matter the situation that person is in, there have already been calls for them to, in the article this is linked to. So in the comment section of the article, there have been people, just kill yourself, murder all of them, kill yourself, you're all bad. That was in the comment section. It was really, really bad. So I was trying to defend against that horribleness. It would be unfair to believe you specifically would be happy with the death of anyone, though the mentality exists, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's you. I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm saying it exists because it's over here and it's egregiously there. It's not, something that I've interpreted. It's just people calling to murder. So I'm not accusing them. That's the important thing, is I'm not saying it's them, because while they have attacked me and they've, said some horrible things, I don't know. I would need to clarify that. The idea that because someone is gay, they should suffer, and I disagree. So that's the idea, that gay people should suffer just because. I disagree with that. The simplest argument I can give for why I disagree is that individuals who are gay do not pose a threat to anyone because of their sexuality. So that was the thing, is you guys are saying that they're dangerous because they're gay. That's what you're saying. You're saying that because this guy was gay, he shot these people. That is what they were saying. So they're saying that remove the rainbow flag because it either incites people to be gay or it empowers them to be violent, which both of those things are something to discuss. I personally believe that that's absurd, but it is a discussion that can be had. Like, maybe it does. I don't know. But, it's something that should be talked about in, discussion and not just spouted to murder everyone. Okay, so anyway. Here's my last thing, and I think this is like the most aggressive that I've been in this conversation. If they have other qualities, such as violent tendencies, extreme bigotry towards people with different sexual orientations, belief that people are out to get them, etc., those people are dangerous. And that's me turning it on its head. That's me using their own hate to show that their hate towards the other people is unjustified. There's like, these people are trying to kill us, so we're going to kill them. It's like, no, that is the opposite of an argument. Now, if it's true, then it should be dealt with. Though what they're saying is they're different, we're going to kill them because they're different. And what I did was I said, well, they are different in certain in certain ways, but that doesn't mean they're bad. What would make them bad is if they were out to kill other people like you. And I'm not saying him specifically or any of those people in there, but it exists. The church that got shot up because the guy was racist, that's a guy that has violent tendencies and who is nuts. Like, something's wrong with him. But the person that shot the journalist, he was nuts too. But you have to discuss that. He's like, was it because he was gay? Was he nuts because he was gay? Was he violent because he was gay? Probably not. So being gay does not make you violent. It might give you a life that is harder than other people, so you might turn to that maybe, but that's not the reason. So I was trying to say, okay, you're violent in that what you're saying is you've already threatened me physically with violence. You've already equated me with terrorism. You've dehumanized me. You've made it so it was clear, at least in my mind, that you, if you had the power, would kill me. So if those qualities were all in somebody that was gay, then yes, that person is bad. But being gay does not give you those qualities. And that was my argument, is if they had these qualities, if all of these horrible things were in that person, then yes, there's something that needs to be addressed. But I think it's actually you. I think you're projecting. I think you're saying, if you're not with us, you're against us, kind of thing. So then it's the argument ad populum and the argument ad hominem, which gets posted at the bottom. So I actually have this screenshotted because I had to staple it together because my screenshot screen was too short, so I had to piece it all together. But then I also have a link to the article so you can read it. And I'm going to post that into the description because I don't want you guys to think that I'm just making this up or that I'm misquoting somebody. So I tried to explain it as I went along. There are problems with this. This mentality of hate, of you're trying to be fair, or whether you're succeeding or not, I don't know, but you're trying to be fair, and then somebody incites violence, threats, anger, hate, malicious intent, dogma, all these things, to silence you, to get you to cower, to give up, is wrong on many levels. And that is why I made this video, is you can try to do good things, and these people will attack you. I have been attacked many times. This is not abnormal for me. I believe in human rights. Everyone. I believe that everyone should be treated with respect. Oh, did I not read that last thing? Okay, I did miss one thing. I missed the very, very last thing. I am asking for nothing more than the basic human right of being treated as an equal. I have listened to your arguments. I disagree with them, but I have no point attacked you as a person, nor have I unfairly treated any of you. I ask for the same respect and nothing more. That's the last. I missed it. I thought it was part of the Wikipedia thing. I apologize for that. I believe in equal rights. I believe in fair treatment, and I believe that if your actions, whether they be I know there's complex situations. I know that. There's extreme situations that need to be very, very looked into before you just blanket something on top of it. But, abortion is something that's it's something that needs to be discussed in length before people start yelling about it. Immigration is another thing. Human rights violations in China, which they use slave labor and child labor. Buying things from them is cheaper because of that. So there's a discussion there. Obviously, it's a human rights violation and it's horrible, and people die because of it, and it really, really needs to be fixed. But we have to talk about it. We have to figure out the best solutions to these things. We cannot say, I hate you, and if you don't listen to me, I will murder you. I will murder your family. I will murder your dog. I have had that said to me before. I have had that said to my face. And I was not happy with that. I had a roommate, and I told you about this in the beginning of the video, where there are people that if they had the power would kill you and they would be happy to do it. I had a roommate told me to my face, if you were dying on the floor and I could save you without any issue, I would watch you die and I would smile while doing it. And I was like, why? It's like, because you're different than me, or you're inferior to me, some random thing like that. And I didn't even know him, and he hated me because I didn't call him king or some random. He was insane, but he ended up getting kicked out of the house for threatening to murder the landlord's children. So he was, and then he ended up. The last I heard from him, he was getting beaten up by skinheads because he was trying to join the skinheads. He was stupid, but people like that exist. And that needs to be addressed. Maybe they're mentally insane. Maybe they're mentally deficient. Maybe they're just violent. I don't know. When that kind of person exists, the system has to be in place, the culture has to be in place, that is not promoted, that is not the norm or accepted in like the most blatant, like disregard. It's like, hey, that person went on a murdering spree, but we love him because of some other reason. And that Manson has a following still. He was a mass murderer. Why do people like him? Because he was charismatic, because he told people what they wanted to hear. There are insanity. There is insanity in this world that needs to be, addressed. And this comment string, it was just random. I was like, here's my thoughts. It's like, oh, I'm going to murder you if I could. Like, why? Can't we have a civil discussion? And people don't like that. They find it to be, it's like my videos. I've been talking to, I used to talk to people about this a lot. And one of the people said is like, because you reiterate yourself so much, you're accusing people of being an idiot. It's like, no, I want to be clear. I want to be understood. If I just assumed they understood, that's not being fair. That's my idea. If I just assume you guys know exactly what I'm saying when I mention something and I don't explain it, then how am I supposed to teach anything? It's like, okay, 2 + 2 is 4, 7 plus whatever is this, and I don't stop to ask, hey, does anyone have any questions? Then I'm not teaching them. I'm just spouting random things that people have to do. It's more work for them. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure everything is clear, and everything is as understood as possible, and I think that is a good thing. That is my idea, that is a good thing. So I apologize if this is too repetitive, or if I'm being too repetitive. It's just the way I do things because I think it's the right way to do them. And whether it is or not is debatable. I don't know. I'm trying my best. So all the way back to the beginning, I'm trying. This is one of my attempts. I don't think any of that really helped. It was an argument in futility. But you know what? I'm going to do it again. I'm going to keep doing it. Because even if one person thinks because of something I say, even if it doesn't change their mind, I don't care if it changes their mind. I care if they think. Because other than that, it's not my ideas that are right. It is the idea of thinking and coming to your own conclusions and trying to understand. That's right. That's good. I can't say my idea is right, so therefore I'm going to convince everyone that I am right at any cost. No. My ideas are no better than anyone else's. They might be better thought out. They might be with more information. If that's the case, if they keep thinking, they should come to those conclusions. Maybe I'm the one that hasn't thought enough. Maybe I need to think about things more and, get more information on a subject. And I've done that before. I've messed up. I was like, I thought this was true. It was wrong. I needed to correct it. I needed to reassess my position on it. Yes, it's hard to do, especially when you've already made a public statement and then people are like, oh, he's flip-flopping. No, I'm learning new things. I need to reassess. If I don't reassess, then I'm stagnant and dogmatic and I'm just trying to protect my image. No, there is so much that needs to be done. You need to continuously learn, continuously try to learn, and just understand everything. And it is so hard, especially when you're in this, being attacked because you're trying to do it. I'm like, hey, don't murder people. It's like, how dare you? We will murder you. I'm like, but I'm just trying to protect people. Like, what kind of society? Like, obviously it's online, it's Facebook. Obviously it's bad, but you can't just brush that under the rug. There are people that are like that in real life. I have met them. I have been threatened by them. And if I was weaker, if I felt inferior, which is my argument on this, if I felt that those words were true, I would hate myself for it, because I would believe I am in the minority. I am outnumbered, and the society doesn't care about me, and the society will hurt me if I try to fight this, because I'm afraid, because I am ashamed, because I am wrong. That is the kind of person I'm trying to protect, because that person doesn't deserve this. They don't deserve to be hated because of what they are or who they love. And obviously, this is a political thing. This is laws that are being made, and the religious backlash between the priests marrying gay couples and stuff like that. That's what this is about. That's why this is being talked about at all, because of the Supreme Court ruling, and then the county clerk that wasn't giving, licenses or whatever. There is a reason this is being discussed. There's a reason I'm talking about it, because I don't think this is right. It doesn't matter if I'm a part of it. Doesn't matter if I am gay or straight or whatever. It doesn't matter if I'm part of it. Human rights are human rights. And if I think that somebody's being mistreated, I will try to protect them. Whether I succeed or not is debatable. Obviously, this was not going to change people's minds, but maybe it will. Maybe it will. I don't know. Having people stand up for the weak or the oppressed or the misused or abused, that's important. It's very important to me. It's important that other people do it. And it's hard. It is really, really hard, because you're getting involved in things that may not be safe, that may not help you. And I've been badly treated because of this, and it's not something that I necessarily get dissuaded from, though, because it's an idiot. It's spouting nonsense online, and obviously I shouldn't attack the person. He's being an idiot. He's being ignorant, willfully ignorant, and I don't stand for that. I think it's ridiculous. He is threatening people with violence for being violent because he disagrees with violence somehow. It's hypocritical. It's missing the point. There's a whole bunch of problems that are caused because of this mentality. So there's just so much to talk about this. There's the whole point of all of this, the whole point of my existence as I see it, is I've been through stuff. I understand things. I'm learning things. I'm good and bad at certain things. My life is my own. Other people's lives are different. Other people's personalities, their life experiences, their goals and dreams and all that stuff, they're different. And everyone should be given a fair treatment and and equal, did I say free treatment? Fair treatment, fair opportunity, and not be hurt. I've been hurt. I don't want anyone to suffer the same things I've done. I'm not saying I was the worst or anything like that, but I know how it feels to be abused. I know how it feels to be unfairly treated in ways that shouldn't have happened. And I don't want anyone, whether I agree with them or not, politically, ideologically, religiously, whatever. I don't care if you're different than me. I don't think you should deserve to be treated unfairly. That is what all my videos are trying to say. That is what my life has been for. And whether I succeed or not, in the end, I don't know if it matters. I might have regrets. I might, that I didn't do enough, or that, I could have done more, that I failed too much, that I could have done things differently. I might have those regrets someday. I might not. I mean, I might feel that I've accomplished more than I ever could have dreamed. I don't know. But I don't want people to suffer because of people like this. I don't want people to suffer because of people like me not doing enough. Trying to defend them and then just stopping halfway through, which I fear doing sometimes. This is too hard, I just need to stop. I fear that. I fear giving up. And I'm trying not to. I'm trying so hard to do more. And this kind of thing is wrong. This kind of behavior, this kind of hate and dogma and abuse, and these people don't deserve this. I've talked about losing friends before because of them dying, because of them taking their own lives, because of people like this, pushing them, hurting them, hating them for no reason. Those are the kind of people I'm trying to protect. And it doesn't matter why you're being abused. It doesn't matter if you're gay or straight, or if you're a minority, what your religion is. It doesn't matter why you're being abused. If you're being misused, mistreated, unfairly hurt, or put down emotionally, or teased, because you might not be able to handle that, and you might think that the only way out is with some kind of physical pain that you cause yourself, whether it be cutting or suicide or pills to numb the pain. I don't want anyone to suffer that ever. And that's why I'm doing this. And you can disagree. You can say that they all deserve to die, and maybe I'm not going to agree with that. I'm not going to agree with that ever. but we should still talk about it. We should still discuss this. I mean, it's hard. It's really hard to say that this kind of thing needs to be talked about because it's so obviously wrong. But some people need to be talked to. They need to be addressed. They need to be, treated as a person because maybe they were not given that opportunity and that's why they're so angry. I don't know. I don't know what the best course of action is. I'm just trying my best. And it's failing a lot and I'm trying harder and it upsets me because I'm not doing as much as I want. I don't want success. I just want to help people. And that needs success, I guess. So it's hard. It's painful to try and fail a lot. And then, looking back on it, I should have done better or I should have, done something. I don't know. But there are people suffering. And whether I am one or not, whether I am part of any of these groups or not, doesn't matter to me. They're all human. I'm part of that. You are too. And no one deserves this. Nobody. Because at any point, somebody suffering because of somebody else, it can be stopped. It can be prevented. It could be promoted to help instead. Instead of putting them down, you can say, you know what? You be you and be proud or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just don't hurt people. That's what I'm saying is this. They tried to hurt me through words. It was stupid. They tried to hurt me through words. It didn't work. Because, obviously it's not going to work on me. But it would work on somebody else. It would work on a lot of other people that don't know, that don't understand, or that they feel isolated, or they feel like people, they're hated because they are. And then somehow the hate is justified. There are people that believe that they deserve to be hated because of their wrong or whatever when they're not. I felt that way before. I felt that I was wrong because of things I believed and things that I was trying to help. I was told that me helping people was wrong, and for a while I felt like people hated me because of it, and that somehow that was justifying me stopping. And I hate myself for ever thinking that, because it's not true. But it was hard, even with the knowledge that these are not wrong, that I should care, that I should try. Even with that knowledge ingrained in me from a very young age, I still fell because so many people were telling me I was wrong. So it's something that needs to be helped. Our culture needs to be fixed. It needs to be addressed. So that's it. I need to stop rambling. I need to stop doing that. I'm going to upload this. I don't even care. I don't care about the editing. I'm just posting this before I change my mind. That's been happening sometimes where I'm watching it and then I get all emotional and then I delete it. So I'm just going to post this. So I hope you enjoyed this and hope this helped, and peace.